यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 6 of 14th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakashakamanāmayam Sukha Sangena Badhnati Jnana Sangena Chanagha. From the last words, Bhagavan has started to describe the nature of three gunas. All these three gunas are born out of Prakriti. Prakriti Sambhavaha Trigunaha. We have to keep in our mind. All these three gunas are born out of Prakriti Tattva. That is the first point to be noted in our mind. Okay, the place of origination of these gunas are mentioned here. The nature of all gunas is to bind us. Okay, the person who is pure consciousness one, but he mistakes himself as an impure, limited consciousness because of these three gunas. The three gunas are the keys for the game which is known as samsara. Therefore, we are just exploring the nature, the function of that, then the originality of these three gunas. In the verse number 6, Bhagavan gave three aspects of details. The first one is Lakshanam, the definition of Sattva Guna. Then the next is Bandhana Prakaram, the method or mode of the bondage, how it ties, how it binds. Then the third is Lingam. Lingam means the indication to find the person is predominated by whether Sattva Guna, Rajoguna or Tamaguna. Now these three things have been given in this verse. Lakshanam, Bandhana Prakaram, Lingam. Among these three gunas, the Lakshanam of Sattva Guna is given here Anamayam, harmless. Anamaya means harmless. By the nature, Sattva Guna is harmless. Because of what? Because of its purity and because it is bright. Prakashakam and Nirmalatvat. Anamayam. It is pure, therefore it is bright and harmless. Sattva Gunam, which is endowed with brightness and harmlessness. That is the Lakshanam. Okay. Sukha Sangena Badhnati. Bandhana Prakaram means what? The method of bondage, it brings the attachment with pleasures. Then Jnana Sangena Chanagha. Not only that, it also causes attachment with knowledge. Knowledge means what? With the knowledge of the worldly materials and knowledge of Atma Jnana. Okay, so that's what the nature of this Sattva Guna. We can have so many examples from our Purana. We can think about Hiranyakashipu and his son Prahlada. Prahlada, who was predominated by the Sattva Guna. His dad means his father, he is predominated by Rajoguna. Let us read the Rajoguna, then we will come back. Comparatively, we can learn both gunas. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Rajaha means Rajoguna. The next one is Rajoguna. Rajaha ragatmakam vidhi. The lakshanam, the definition of Rajoguna, which is endowed by the nature of passion. You know, those people are endowed with passions, with so many targets to achieve. I have seen Hero Honda Passion. The name itself, you know, very passionatic. The passion to ride something, passion to achieve something, the passion to beat something, to establish something, to argue with something. The passion. What is the inner urge behind the passions or underneath the passions? Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam. The passion which is born out of desire and attachment. Tannibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. It binds the person with more actions, activities, actions-oriented person he is. Hiranyakashipu, I am the God. He wants to establish, I am that almighty God. He wants to establish. Therefore I said, you know, people whoever wants to establish something, they want to prove to the world, they want to argue with something, they want to conquer something, all of them are born out of Rajogunam. Okay, let it be. What is the problem with that? No. The Rajoguna, it brings pain. Bhagavan himself will bring later on. Now he is just teaching the Lakshanam, Bandhana Prakaram, Lingam. Lakshana means the definition of Rajoguna, which is Ragatmakam. The Rajoguna means in which you can find passion. Passion, the people are endowed with so many passions. The mind which is not calm, which is not relaxed, and which is jumping one object to another object, one goal to another goal. The people who are predominated by this Rajoguna cannot even sleep peacefully. Their sleep also disturbed by the achievements. Okay? Karma Sangena Badhnati, action oriented people they are. You can just fix all this definition with Hiranyakashipu. But Hiranyakashipu, he will be fit for even Tamoguna, that we will see later on. But the proper example for this Rajoguna is Ravana. So who is activity oriented person, action oriented person, who wants to beat everybody, who is endowed with lots of ego in it and passions. Okay. Now you just think about the characteristic of Rama. So who was able to maintain the peace of mind even during the battle? So when he was asked to get away from the Ayodhya, at that time also he was endowed with patience, very relaxed. The first night of the forest living, he slept well. Lakshmana was not able to sleep, and Sita was not able to sleep, but he slept well. Samatva darshanam. So Lord Rama, it's not that he was Lord, therefore he was having the tendency. No. By birth, Sattva Guna Yuktaha. But Lakshmana, who is the example for Rajoguna, he wants to prove, he wants to argue always. Among the Pancha Pandavas also, the Yudhishthira, who is endowed with Sattva Guna, and Bhima, and Arjuna, who was endowed with Rajoguna. Even it is said, you know, the Sakadeva, who was endowed with Sattva Guna, he was a great astrologer. Chalo. Now this is the nature of these two gunas. Then the third guna, Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhihi tannibadhnati bharata. Tamaha, which is born out of ignorance. It means what? It will continue as the ignorance alone. Okay, the nature itself, ignorance. Therefore, it will do what? It will become a deluder. Sarva dehinam mohanam vidhi. He is the deluder of all beings. In the form of what? In the form of negligence, in the form of indolence, in the form of sleep. That's why no pramada, alasya, nidravihi, tan nibadhnati bharata. He brings attachment with negligence, indolence, sleep. The people always drowsy. The people always neglect the people, doesn't care about others, and endowed with sleep. But one more meaning it is to be applied, who is vigorously endowed with adharma activities, also can be called tamaha, tamogunaha. Now sattva rajoguna, tamoguna. Nature of these all three are introduced by Bhagavan. Let us see what he says in the next words. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanam avrityatu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. Beautiful conclusion. What is the conclusion of sattva guna? If a person who is predominated by sattva guna, what will be the benefit for him? The sattva guna which makes him to be endowed with happiness, pleasure. He is attached with the pleasure. It brings attachment through the pleasure. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. It binds with happiness. It binds with pleasure. The nature of being predominated by sattva guna means that person who can enjoy the pleasure, peace of mind, that tranquility of mind. And also we can understand that sattva guna predominated one means what? His ahankara, which is endowed with predominant sattva guna. Now ahankara is the topic here. Why do we want to understand these three gunas? Because ahankara is affected by these three gunas. That ahankara alone, it selects the object according to its nature. If the ahankara which is predominated by sattva guna, it seeks sattva guna object, sattva guna experiences, happiest thing. Even a tour, if you take them to a pilgrims, the people, sattva guna people will glorify the darshans which they had through all the temples. Badri, Kedar, even to Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kailash or Amarnath, wherever you take them, they can enjoy the glory of Ishvara Darshan. But these Rajoguna people, they will just enjoy or concentrated or focused to the experience with other people, with the competition attitude, or always competing with others and arguing with others and fighting with others. They will remember that alone. Their mind will be focusing that, or to buy something, to bargain something. If you are taking them to Badrinath, they are not focused on Badrinath. They will be endowed with purchasing something, and here and there they will chase towards the object, or some kind of arguments. They don't leave the arguments. So finally their mind is related to the arguments, achievements, purchase, object, and name and fame. That's the nature. Rajaha karmani bharata. Karma means it is endowed with more action oriented things. They want to achieve more, they want to get more, they want to buy, they want to conquer the arguments. That's the nature of Rajaha. Now you can understand about our ahankara. If our ahankara is endowed with sattva guna, it means I am a peaceful person. I can maintain the tranquility in all level. If I am predominated by rajoguna, that's all. So my mind will lose the peace, my mind will be fluctuated, and my system will be endowed with more action in our life. Then if tamoguna is predominating a person, the tamoguna, the result of tamoguna is pramade sanjayati. It will tie the person with a delusion. That's all. Because that ignorance, the nature of tamoguna is ignorance, it will veil. He cannot understand anything. You cannot argue even with him. You cannot even have a dialogue with him. He will bring the arguments which is baseless, which is illogical one. That person is known as tamoguna oriented person. That's all. The definition all is being cleared. The prayojana of these three gunas are mentioned in this verse. Verse number 9, it brings, you can find all examples in our Purana. You take all the characteristic in Mahabharata, you can see Dhritarashtra, who was utterly blind in all aspects. He was not a successful father. He was not able to be a successful king, a great king. And finally, what he had, he brought all kinds of nonsense in his life. He was not able to give proper happiness to his wife, his sons, his citizens. The example for tamoguna. And Duryodhana, who was endowed with rajoguna, always passionate and poisoned also by Shakuni. So he was the example for rajoguna. So I brought Duryodhana. He was a good person by the soul, but poisonated by others. Therefore, this Rajaha Karmani Bharata, he wanted to have the fight, war. So he desired to set a war always, because he wanted to prove himself he was more talented and powerful than Pandavas. The nature of beating somebody, it is Rajoguna. And what about Sattva-guna? Yudhishthira, who was just having the nature of Sattva-guna, he didn't want to have a fight with anyone. He didn't want to conquer anyone because he didn't have any complex with him. You can take example from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, any Purana you can take. There is Sattva-guna and Tamoguna, Rajoguna oriented characters. By those characters, even Ramayana, in the family of Ravana, it is said Ravana becomes example for Rajoguna. Kumbhakarna becomes example for Tamoguna. Vibhishana becomes example of Sattva-guna. Now, the benefit of those gunas, Tamoguna and Rajoguna, they are killed. They were killed, but still they are killed. That's what the nature of that. Sattva-guna remains, because Sattva-guna is endowed with knowledge. Sattva-guna, which is also endowed with purity. Therefore, it is harmless, anamayam. It also supports for dharma, the person who wants to live with dharma, and that too with a proper attitude. Though these Rajoguna people, they want to be endowed with dharma, but they harm their system and others too. Therefore, this gunas is to be realized properly. That's all. So the proper division has been done. Now, the connection between these gunas are explained by Lord Krishna from the next words. Let us read it. Rajas tamascha bhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata rajas sattvam tamaschaiva tamas sattvam rajas tatha. Rajas tamascha abhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. You should remember in the beginning itself. Now, when I began this chapter, at that time I told all these three gunas, they are interconnected. So one is connected with others, okay, others too. So Sattva guna brings Rajoguna, Rajoguna brings Tamoguna, Tamoguna again brings Sattva guna. So like it is interconnected. We can just judge the person who is predominated by Sattva guna, means what? Other two gunas are dumped by Sattva guna. Sattva guna dominates other two gunas. So you should not understand that if a person is called a Sattva guna person, so he doesn't have Tamoguna and Rajoguna. There are both other gunas, but the sattva guna is predominating. In the same way, if a person is called a rajoguna dominant person, other twos are dominant by this rajoguna. That's what the nature of gunas. So when we want to specify a person with a particular guna, we have to realize that guna is dominating other two gunas. That's all the secret here. So sattva guna also dominates other two gunas, and rajoguna and tamaguna as well as. This is the sequence and secret of the universe. So what is going on in this universe? Just one guna suppresses other two gunas and it comes up. Then other guna, it does the same to come up. Then other guna, it comes the same, does the same thing. This is what is known as prakriti, tattva, or we can call it creation, the world. The nature of the world is to keep changing these gunas. Therefore, we are able to grow, we are able to change ourselves, we become old. Every changes, whatever takes place in this world, is to these gunas. By their changing nature, one beats other two. That is the reality of these gunas. When we understand, we will be very clear about our nature. Now what is going on in our body? The gunas are dominating among themselves. Sattva wants to dominate other two, and others, rajoguna wants to dominate other two. That's what is going on in our sharira. That's competition between these three. We can take as the competition, but there is no competition. But out of punya phala, if we are having a little bit of punya phala, sattva guna will dominate. So that's what, according to guna alone, the karma phalas are brought to a person. This is the secret by this verse. Therefore, when we learned 5 steps, there are 5 steps that which we learned in the last chapter to get the spiritual progress. What are they? Karma yoga, upasana yoga, then jnana yoga. So karma yoga is to deal with the tamoguna, upasana is to deal with rajoguna, the jnana yoga is to deal with sattva guna. Or we can say the karma yoga which removes the tamoguna, or which helps us to come out of tamoguna. Then upasana yoga which helps us to manage with rajoguna, and jnana yoga which helps us to use sattva guna to gain the ultimate knowledge. That is what the secret, that's what the infrastructures which is given by Lord Krishna. It's a beautiful structure. So last class and this class, you just keep recollecting, you will get a proper understanding about the nature of the creation, how it binds, how it works, the function of these 3 gunas, or the secret of the source of power. You can find there are places, sattva dominant places. There are places which is endowed with tamoguna, the places which are endowed with rajoguna. You can see if you go to the temples are predominated by sattva ambience. If you go to the place where the sports, all the sports are taking places, those places are predominated by rajoguna. And there are the places, you go to pub, disco, they are some other things, there's a cinema, theater, and even malls. I don't know what and all is there with mall, but people say, according to that I can understand, this tamoguna dominant people. What does it mean? They delude us. Okay? When you go and watch a cricket match, you become passionate, rajoguna oriented. When you go to the temple, there also some rituals are on. Karma still is taking place, but that will help us to get rid of our problems, to get clarity about the life. That is the prayojan of the temple. Further, we will continue this from next session onwards. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.